Hello Twin Flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your daily update. I'm almost back to the daily update, but we'll see how it goes. So let's jump straight into the reading. I will pull an oracle message. They've got the enchanted map oracle, changing things up a little bit. I've still got the angels and ancestors cards with me, so I think tomorrow I'll publish a video more specific to the ancestors energy. All right, so for divine feminines, we've got the spark. It is actually in reverse. So I would say maybe, and this girl is playing the violin. I don't know if you guys can see it here. Hopefully you can. You may feel like you're missing the spark. The spark is gone. Maybe something that you're so passionate about a month ago now seems like I don't even know what I was thinking, right? I'm really making myself take the next step in it, whether it's something artistic or even could be a new business project or even preparing for a trip to Nepal, which, you know, a month ago sounded like it's an amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and now that you're drilling down to the details, it's like, oh, I'm not sure that was a good choice for me, right? So whatever that is, it's important to bring the spark back. That's one thing I would say. Or maybe it is a sign for you that something is just not a great time for it, right? I would say though, this is a collective reading, so I can't go too deep into specific scenarios, so I'll leave it to you. One thing I would say, that it's normal to have like a downtime periods in life where, you know, like maybe this is just not the right time for it, for sure, right? And it's okay to not have to replace it with something else, because our brain immediately thinks, okay, so if I'm not pursuing this new hobby of mine, like what am I doing then instead of that? Because, you know, I have all these brilliant ideas, right? So must be something else then, right? Because I've got to keep myself busy and do something with this time. But it's not really the case, and maybe your body and your soul is actually asking for you to have that downtime where you can slow down, where you can do more self-care, where you maybe can read books, I don't know, go on a hike, but it doesn't have to be a trip to Nepal, right? Do more of that discovery for what is it that you're supposed to know, right? At this time, like the guidance that is necessary. For the masculines, we see the talisman card. This is number 49. So yeah, with the talisman, it's like the card, like the meaning of the card, if we read the book, is a lot about signs and synchronicities and like what is essentially guiding you on your path, what is taking you forward, right? It can be so many different things that are indicating to you like which turn to take, right? Or how much time am I supposed to spend here? So dear masculines, for you, this is a chance to think about what is guiding you, what do you respond to, what resonates for you, right? Because for each of us, it will be something different, and it will be somewhat different, right? Like something you will definitely ignore and not even pay attention to it, and other things would be like, wow, that's really something, maybe I should rethink it, right? What is it for you, right? And what can you consider your lucky charms or your talismans that are protecting you? It's been like that notion of objects having a certain energy, certain meaning has existed from prehistoric times in all cultures in the world. It's just that the objects are somewhat different depending on the culture, but that idea is still there. And I'm not saying to like put in like all your hopes and aspirations into that something, or think that just an object is going to keep you protected from anything and everything, right? Like I'm not a proponent of that myself, so I can't recommend it or encourage it, but I would say that there are definitely objects that have certain energy in them that can be supportive on our journey, right? Or the other way around, by the way. And so it's important to see of kind of like what do you surround yourself with, especially in places where you spend the most time, like your bedroom, where you, by the way, spend like 1/3 of your lifetime, right? maybe your desk where you work, the kitchen, especially if you cook a lot, right? Maybe your favorite couch in the living room where you like to watch a movie in the evening or even read a book, but you're there, it's your spot, right? Like what is surrounding you? What kind of memories, what kind of energy do these specific objects have? Even if it's a couch, a lamp, I don't know, a rug, right? What are the associations with them? Something to think about. Okay. Now we'll go with tarot, and I've got the steampunk tarot with me, so, and you already saw that there's a Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Oh, and I'm inside today. You see, like the landscape outside is just gorgeous, and it's actually a pretty good day. But there's wind again, and I actually listened to a little bit of my last reading that I was doing outside, and it was like, no, I'm not doing that. So yeah, this time I'm safely inside, delivering the reading, and the Queen of Cups is helping me deliver the message that right now we may feel overly sensitive. We may feel like, you know, there's just the reality is overwhelming. That's what I'm hearing, right? Like, I don't know how to cope with all of it. There's just too much happening at the same time, right? And so the emotional body, of course, responds to it because our brain is starting to read, our nervous system is starting to read the signal that there's stress, right? There is some kind of insecurity, there's lack of safety, so we've got to do something about it. Okay, clarifiers from the Witch's Tarot. Is it called that way? Yep, it's the Witch's Tarot, exactly. Bottom of the deck is Page of Swords. Yeah, so pay attention to how you speak about your situation, to yourself and to others, right? Are you saying it in the words that seem very desperate? I was talking to someone just yesterday, to like a friend of mine, haven't seen her in a long time, and I was telling her about what I'm looking for, like in my new business project, or you know, the partnership that I want to try. But it seemed a little desperate, I guess, in the vocabulary that I used. So that's how she heard it, at least, right? And then she called me later, and she had some ideas, like, I've got these ideas for you of what could work, you know, like in a desperate situation like yours, like this, I think would be, you know, this would work. It's not ideal, but at least it's something that's definitely gonna work. And I mean, I thank her for the ideas and everything. And then I thought to myself afterwards, it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess what I described, I didn't even use the word desperate, right? But the way I described it to the person, it reflected as something desperate, as something that it's like, wow, like she really needs help. And, you know, that's what they take in and that's what they run with. So be careful with that. Feminines, your energy right now is the moon clarified by death. Oh my goodness. And we have full moon coming up in about 10 days, if I'm not mistaken. We just had the new moon earlier this week. And that was a new moon in Libra, which essentially was about setting up some goals and intentions for what brings more of balance and peace into your life, right? Don't underestimate the value of peace in your life, and creating more of it rather than less. And now we're marching towards the full moon. That's definitely, I mean, these are two major arcanas, and they are just like kick-ass major arcanas, right? Complete transformation. This is like facing your shadow and, you know, the emotions that are suppressed. So you're being prepared for something really, really important, Divine Feminines, right? And while we're ramping up that energy towards the full moon that's coming up in less than 2 weeks, this is for you to reflect. And we are pretty much in the Scorpio season now. Let me see. Oh, we are in the Scorpio season, actually. Happy birthday, Scorpio, right? This is Scorpio energy, right? And Scorpio is a water sign, so to some extent, moon energy also is very close to it. Because moon is connected to the element of water, right? So this is going to be, the full moon is going to be in Taurus, but we are in Scorpio season, so it's going to be a very interesting dynamic of like how do your suppressed emotions reflect on the life that you're creating in 3D, the material life, if you want to call it that way? And what needs to change for you to finally live the life that you want to live, right? But it's important to understand what it is, right? And what are the drivers? Because you're not going to figure out all the answers overnight, right? So start looking at it right now, where you are and where do you think there is some kind of a block or some kind of a lack, or there's a lot of emotion that's like either built up or it's like overflowing and it's just kind of bursting, you know, like when a pipe bursts. It's not good either. Masculines, you have 5 of Pentacles clarified by 9 of Wands. Masculines want to change this situation that they're in as quickly as possible. And we were talking, like over the last days, we saw the dark night of the soul that masculines were going through. Of course, they feel lonely, they feel left out in the cold, they feel punished, like they don't deserve what they're getting, and they want this to change as quickly as possible, right? The good thing from the masculine's watch, and the good thing about it is that this is where that spark is actually like igniting your motivation. Like I'm done with doing life this way. I need to do something different. But a lot of times, unfortunately, it also can go into the space of violence or cruelty or some kind of adversarial behavior, you know, that you will regret in the future. So just pay a little bit of attention to that, but definitely work with that, whatever that rage or anger, or even, you know, the state where you feel like your heart is broken because everybody let you down around you, right? Whatever that is, use it, that momentum, to start creating what you actually want. One of the main questions that we ask, and I ask myself, the clients that are doing some coaching work with me, is what do you actually want, right? It's not just about describing and understanding what is happening. It's like, so where do you go from here? What do you actually want to create? And then we can decide like how much of the status quo is going like in misalignment with that and needs to change. And maybe there are other areas that we can park for now and, you know, look at it some other time. Additional question for today is 2 of Pentacles clarified by the Sun. Wow, so this is like, how do I choose the path to happiness and joy? Like it seems, and it's very interesting, like the contrast. You see here, like the sky is gray and there is sun in there, but it's all hidden behind this really dark clouds. And the other one is like just fully lit up with the sunshine, right? Really white, really bright. So how do I find my way to this space when it looks like this, when it doesn't seem obvious? It seems like a struggle to get to the happy place. What does the feminine see? You know, the Sun clarified by 4 of Swords. Yes, your peace, your happiness, and the joy on the way, right? The joy will lead you to that sunshine, right? It's already available to you. It's about how you express, you know, and magnetize that kind of reality. More than anything, it's about self-care, right? And we started with that. So to me, this is a confirmation. Some of you really need to hear that it's not about doing right now. It's about taking care of yourself. It's about bringing more joy to your day, whatever that means. And if it means sleeping in, it means just reading your book on the couch. Yes, it seems not very productive for the outside world, but it will mean the world to you because you're doing something that's bringing you joy, right? In the evening, instead of scheduling 5 different things that you need to get done, take a long bath. I don't know, have something tasty for dinner. Maybe if you love cooking, you know, cook in. If you don't, order something from your favorite place. But, you know, it can be simple like that. It doesn't have to be all, you know, fireworks and parties. Do something that your heart can speak to. And with 4 of Swords, it's more something more peaceful and, you know, that is at ease, where you don't need to do a lot of things. For masculines, we have 4 of Pentacles clarified by 9 of Swords. So masculines, for you, it's about what is your message to the world? What do you want to say? What are you keeping inside, right? You need to be more outwardly focused in terms of the flow of energy, whether it comes to money, or even something that you do, that the goals that you set for yourself. Start acting on those inclinations and goals. Don't try to just be very careful and, you know, take tiny steps just because there's a lot of anxiety inside, right? It's like you need to project that confidence, right? And that joy on the outwards. And that's how then it will be reflected to you. That's actually part of the message that we saw at the beginning, right? So it's not about, for you, it's almost the opposite. It's not about not doing stuff. It's about doing stuff, but in a very authentic way, right? Not pretending, right? Take off the masks and do what really is meaningful to you. And do a little bit of brainstorming first and see why. First of all, for yourself, so you understand why. How the feminine see in the connection at this time? Three of Cups clarified by Justice. That's the Justice, that's the Libra energy that we just had a new moon in. Yeah, so with Three of Cups, it may be, you may I feel like you may have some kind of a FOMO effect, that you're missing out on something fun that someone's doing, that maybe your masculine is doing, and you're like, and I'm here, you know, busting my butt, making my spiritual business work, or something of that sort. Like, it's unfair. It's again like that notion of like life is somehow unfair, or my masculine did a number on me and they're having fun out and about, right? Like, how is that fair? Leave it to the divine, leave it to the higher power to serve justice in whatever the situation is, right? But follow your own passion and joy, not out of a place of ego that you need to match something or to prove something, but do something that really nurtures you, right? Or inspires you. That is the name of the game. How the masculine see in the connection? We see the Hanged Man and Nine of Cups. Yeah, masculines, I like also like there are this, what are they called? Almost said the rocks. Bricks. There are bricks in both of them. It's interesting. Masculines are starting to see why this connection is so important and why it's something that they need. You know, that we say, especially in twin flame connections, that we're not, with our twin, we're not given what we want, we're given what we need. Quirks and everything, you know, and they're starting to see how their feminine is that match, how it's what they need, right? So they'll see in past certain things that used to annoy them, or where they see some kind of drawback, some kind of shortage, or shortcoming, sorry, on the feminine behalf. And now they're like, wow, but that's the area where I can really learn, right? Or this is the area that like triggers me to work on some stuff, right? Or if for some of you, I'm hearing that the annoying part was that the feminine is better at certain things, where you felt before that, you felt like you were an expert, you were so good at it, so great at it. And now the feminine shows up and kind of like plays you up and, you know, shows you up, right? That's the expression, because they just do it so effortlessly, it's much better than you, and you feel angry about that, right? And now it's changing around where you see how this can actually be inspiring, or how you're actually excited that this is the area that you both share, that, you know, you can create something amazing together in that space, right? And that's why there's like this wish fulfillment part, where maybe there was some kind of project that you wanted to accomplish, but for one or another reason you couldn't and you didn't, right? But now there is this additional force, which is divine feminine, and together sky's the limit, and you can get that dream to come true, and quite possibly many, many more. Okay, I'm gonna leave you here, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and until next time, bye.